Hey team, for anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Jace and I'm a sex addict. Each week I come on and answer questions about my life as an addict or a person in recovery, or just what the heck I am doing out here trying to figure out what it means to be sexually healthy and romantically healthy and just all around healthy. The question that I got in this week was with regard to moving into a relationship. And if I'm in a relationship, does that mean I've fallen off the wagon? Or I don't remember how else they put it, but basically, if I am ever in a relationship for the rest of time, I'm 29, does that mean I've failed my recovery from sex addiction? And if, I can ever do that type of stuff. So that's a common misconception for recovery from intimacy issues, sexual issues, and all of that, especially with sex addiction. So a lot of people think that the point of recovering from sex addiction is to never be sexual again, right? And that's really the opposite. What we learn through recovery in the program that I go to, as well as the therapy that I've been doing, is not to be absent from sexual activities and from relationships, but to better learn how to bond and to be in sexual situations that I find to be healthy to me. I define healthy as that it is nourishing to me, it's inspiring, it makes me feel good, opposed to in the past it was taking a lot from me, right? So the point of recovering from sexual addiction is not to abstain from any behavior for all of time, right? From 29 onward. It's to go and be able to connect, be able to bond, to function in a relationship. If I want, you don't have to. There's no force to go be in a relationship. But if I do want to be in one, to do that in a healthy way that takes care of myself and also takes care of the other person as well. There's a lot of respect and responsibility that goes into being in a serious relationship with someone. And I can say for the first time, yeah, I mean, like this is brand new, like within the last week, maybe, where I've been doing a lot of work with my personal therapist, and I got some phenomenal advice this past week from Dr. Gary Salier, who's out in California. He's writing a really cool book called Safe to Love Again. He does a lot of work with repairing damage done by past relationships, not like a bad boyfriend or girlfriend necessarily, but bonding during childhood, during formative years, that type of thing. And between those avenues and the work I've been doing in my 12-step program and everything else, I will admit publicly and also privately, for pretty much the first time, that I want to be loved. I want to be in a relationship. I want to love somebody and have a life partner, or at least a long-term partner. I want to be on a team. I want somebody in my corner. And I used to feel a lot of shame about that. I thought that made me very weak. I thought that I had to do everything on my own, and if I couldn't, I failed. And wanting somebody to help me out with things meant I couldn't do it on my own. I was a huge disappointment, and I didn't deserve to live. Which sounds extreme, but that is how I've been operating pretty much my whole life. And that I would be a disappointment to my mom and my sisters and other strong women out there, and this idea of self-actualization where we're supposed to be alone and handling things on our own. But what I'm learning through my journeys with the film is that's just super not true at all. Humans are hardwired for bonding. We are supposed to be in communities, and we do have a built-in desire to seek out not even just a mate in a sexual sense, but to bond with and to spend, our lives with. I'm not quite at whether monogamy is natural or not. That's not the argument, but we do want another person in our lives, that teammate. So can I do it and still be sexually sober? Absolutely. Do I want to? Without shame, I will admit, yeah, I do. And I think I'm getting ready for it. So that's what's coming down the line for me whenever it does. If you have your questions, feel free to send them on in. You can find me on my website, suddenlycelibate.com. I am on Facebook and YouTube as well. I'm terrible on Twitter, but I am on there, and I'm doing my best. In the meantime, Stay curious.